the election.
Yeah.
They were caught on people's doorbell cams, and people said they're voting for an independent.
Listen,
calling them the P word.
I think I'm familiar. I'm not talking. But the thing is, I'm not.
The point is, there are racists everywhere. Unfortunately,
wait one second.
Particularly in the Labour Party. But I just want to finish my point.
Yeah, but I didn't really finish.
There is no political party that deals with racists, if they uncover them, more than Reform does.
Okay.
To the extent that some people moan about that,
Okay.
that people have been thrown out the party or people have been
Okay.
deselected as candidates. As soon as that's found out, they're thrown out.
Okay, so what we're going to talk about...
More so than other political parties.
So do you believe that...
let's give Reform some credit.
Okay, let's talk about this now, yeah? So when it comes to the Reform Party, do we agree that they mention and they marginalise the Muslim community when it comes to their crimes? Wait one second. I'll tell you. Let me finish.
You answer me a question and my answer is categorical.
Okay, let me finish. Let me just finish my statement. Clearly, when you go to the Reform Twitter, clearly everyone, this is a challenge for everyone.
So
go to Reform Twitter, go to Nigel
Twitter
Farage's Twitter. Clearly, you can see many times, you can see all the times when he's talking about the crimes, he's talking about Muslim individuals, Muslim immigrant. Many of the times, for example, it claims to be an immigrant for an attack, and many times it's not even a Muslim. So wait, brother, I need to respond and I need to have one conversation. I need to have one conversation. No, we can clearly see these individuals.
By saying we can clearly see does not make it clear.
Look, this is something that is well known when it comes to the Reform Party. They always talk about Pakistani person doing a crime, a Pakistani person doing a grooming case.
But when it comes to chairman would think about that
it's quite common.
What would their use? No, you can't just say
every time.
Doesn't prove anything. Every time, it's quite common.
Thing is, bro,
I'm saying it's not common. Come up with the evidence, and I'm saying, do you think our chairman, Zia Youssef, a Muslim individual, would stand for it if it was true?
Firstly, look, that's such a ridiculous point. It's like, for example, saying that Barack Obama was black, so he calls Muslims so support Labour. That's a very bad principle. We don't care about these type of things. But what we can clearly see, if you go to the Twitter pages, which is a challenge for all of us, again, it's a challenge for every one of us right now. All the times, Muslim crime this, illegal immigrant this. But how comes when it comes to...
You said, you started this conversation saying you were as concerned about illegal immigrants as anyone else.
No, but the thing is, what you're trying to do,
why is it bad?
I didn't say that, by the way. I didn't say I'm concerned about anything else. I did not say that. That's not my major.
No, I didn't. You said you're concerned about illegal immigration.
I didn't say that's my major concern. I did not say that at all.
I didn't say major. You said it was a concern of yours.
From my knowledge, I did not say concern. Rather, I said from my knowledge. Of course, I'm not too sure exactly, but from my knowledge, what I did say is that yes, I disagree with illegal immigration. No doubt about that. Why? Of course.
So no different to Reform.
Because again, even
most people,
even according to Islam, of course, when we enter a...
Can I give you another?
Can I just quickly finish if you don't mind? According to Islam as well, when we enter a country, we are fulfilling a contract with them. We have the passport. So of course, I have no issue with that. But what I'm saying to you is that individuals, they disguise their hatred and they say the word illegal immigration. Rather, they don't want any. Rather, individuals, they don't really care about.
When they say illegal immigrant, they really.
So why are they always?
Is that what you mean? Is that what you're implying?
No. What I'm saying to you is that why do you always marginalize Muslim crimes? Why don't you talk about other crimes? Why is it only Muslims? Why about immigrants? You see this all the time, bro. Bro, I saw you was Muslim, bro. I saw you was Muslim. No, excuse me. I thought you was a Muslim before, weren't you? I thought you was a Muslim. No, this is interesting because this guy used to support a very Ajib organization back in the days. But I don't want to talk to you then. Khalas, I don't want to talk to you. I know who you are very well.
Can people not
I don't really care.
Can people not change?
I know you from coming to the park and claiming your ideology and associating with people who are Daesh. So I don't care. I don't care, bro. I don't care. You're untrustworthy. You're untrustworthy and you're unreliable. So I don't really care about you. And we're talking about, well, do you support reform as well? Do you support reform as well? Do you support reform as well?
Why do you care?
Why do I care? Because we're having a conversation and you're jumping in.
I'm asking
you're jumping in.
You're jumping in.
Okay, cool. That's true. That's fair enough, to be honest with you. You know that, for example, can we talk about the grooming situation, for example?
Yeah? I was going to give you an example. I think it's probably my turn now.
That's fine. Go on.
As I said earlier, I stood for reform in the general election in Ealing Southall.
Yeah.
Now I don't know if you know that area, but let me explain.
I know Indians.
That area to you.
Yeah.
The constituency of Ealing Southall, it goes from almost touching Ealing Broadway, all of Ealing, Walpole, Northfields.
Yes.
I'm
familiar.
We're familiar. And then it covers all of Southall.
We're familiar.
So it's quite a distinct constituency because half of it is quite middle class.
I understand.
Very white.
Everyone knows.
Very well to do.
Yep.
The other half of the constituency is very Asian, very working class.
We're familiar with the area.
Much lower income levels.
So what are you trying to prove?
I stood in that constituency.
Representing the Indians?
I stood for that constituency to represent, if I'd won, everyone in that constituency.
Did you win?
Do you know? No, I didn't win.
Okay.
But can I make my point?
I'm just asking you a simple
question. Do you know where, of those two areas, white, middle class, Asian, working class, where did I get the most support,
Okay.
love, agreement? Where did I get the most hate and anger and pointing of fingers, racism?
Yeah.
I'll tell you where.
Well, you got the
on
Indians
the
there.
Asian
Okay.
Indian streets of
Yeah.
Southall is where I got all the support.
Okay.
The only hate I got during my campaign
Yeah.
was from the white,
Yeah.
middle class, liberal, left-wing streets of Ealing.
Okay.
That does not support your case. And I'll tell you
It does not
why
support.
that was
That's
the
a
case.
small
I'll
example,
tell you-
small case study. That
there
does
are
not prove
thousands
anything.
of people
That does not
live
prove
across
anything.
that
That's a very bad
constituency.
example.
You don't-
That's a very bad
he doesn't
example.
like
No,
it.
that's a
He
very
doesn't
bad
like the
example. Very bad
So,
example.
In my
I
area.
got
Wow.
significantly the majority of my support from people whose skin colour wasn't mine,
Yeah.
whose ethnic background wasn't mine,
Yep.
who are not white people, who are not racist people,
Okay.
but who had significant concerns, for example, around the levels of immigration and the levels of uncontrolled illegal immigration. Whereas the white middle class folk, that wasn't an issue at all. They wanted to point the finger and wag it at me and say you're a racist and say reform a racist. How can that be when they're the white middle class liberal numpties,
Yep.
yet the good Asian folk of Southall completely agreed
Can
with
I respond to that,
me
please?
and supported me.
Better
That
economy, that's
so doesn't
Steve, can I
support
respond?
your case that reform a
That's
racist.
fine, can I respond, Steve?
It's the polar opposite.
That's fine, no problem. Can I respond?
It's the polar
So what you
opposite.
did is use a personal experience of yourself, of you being a MP in that Southall region.
wasn't
And
an
can I
MP,
respond?
I was a candidate.
Council. Okay, cool, no problem. A majority of the people that supported you were not the white English class individuals, rather it was from the Asian community. To be honest, that's a bad example because many places in the UK
doesn't support your
no,
argument.
many
That's a
places,
bad
many
thing.
places. Can I respond, please, Steve? Many places in the UK, when it comes to majority South Asian population, many of them were not supporting reform, rather they were fully against reform. So that's a very
Where's
bad.
this?
That's
Give us
a very
some-
bad
give us
example.
some examples.
Okay, for example, okay,
You're-
Birmingham,
okay, all you
Bradford,
do- so where's the
Birmingham,
evidence? Where's the
Bradford.
evidence
Okay,
that
wait,
it
so
was
did
different
reform
in-
won in Bradford?
Reform did
Did reform
better.
won in Bradford?
Reform-
Did reform won in Bradford? Go give us an
Can I
example.
explain?
No, you have to let me
Reform
finish.
came second
You have to let me
place
finish.
in 90 or so
You have to let me-
constituencies.
You know-
vast majority of those constituencies were Reform came in second place.
Yeah.
Labour won.
Yeah.
Reform.
And by the way-
Reform does the best in Labour support.
Did you do a statistic if they were Muslim or not?
Now let's look
Steve,
at
were they
Labour-
Muslim or not?
Let's look at Labour.
Steve,
let's
were they
look at
Muslim?
Labour areas.
No, were they
And
Muslim?
Let's look at the ethnic
Were the
profile
reform
of
supporters
Labour
Muslim?
areas.
Steve, simple question. Sorry, were the Labour support? Were the reform supporters of you? Were they
Labour
Muslim?
strongholds
Were they Muslims?
tend to be more ethnically
Were they
diverse
Muslims?
than Conservative
Were they
strongholds.
Muslims?
The Conservative Party does
Steve?
better in white
Steve,
areas.
were they Muslims?
The Labour Party does well in more ethnically
Steve, were they
diverse
Muslims?
areas.
Were they
Many
Muslims?
of them were, yes.
So where's the proof of that?
Oh, so I have to give proof, but you
No,
don't have to give any
tell
proof.
me if it's online. No,
You see
we
the
can check it online. No
inequality
problem,
here.
Steve.
He makes these
We can
various
verify it.
statements,
We can verify
but
it.
doesn't come up with a
We can
single
verify
bit of
it.
evidence.
We can verify it.
I make a point, and it's where's your evidence?
We
where's
can
your
verify-
evidence?
my points, you can
You
verify
make
it.
us Why do you keep going like this?
Steve, we
Why
can
do you keep
verify
going
it.
like
Steve, we
this?
can verify it. We can
But you
verify it.
don't. That's
Steve,
the
we can
point.
verify it.
I
That's the
give
thing.
you-
No,
I
the
give-
other thing is, no, the other thing is,
I give you actual evidence,
Look,
and you say,
Look,
well, it's a bad
no.
example because that's your anecdote.
Again, Steve, you're
you come up with
speaking-
bullshit statements without any evidence.
Okay, clearly
Any-
the point that you're trying to make is clearly.
Reform got a higher percentage of minority votes than Lib Dems.
Okay,
The
so did reform
statistics
did reform support
wrong.
Muslims? Did the Muslims support reform mostly? Can
Is
you
it
please
only
provide
about
evidences?
Muslims?
Can
Is
you
it
provide
only- is it
evidences?
only about
No, again.
Muslims?
So again, it's
Is
a
it
bad
only about
example, bro.
Muslims?
It's like saying Sadiq Khan is a Muslim. Oh, we should support Labour. It's like saying Barack Obama is black.
That's what the left
we should
do.
follow Barack
That is
Obama.
what
And
the
you're doing the
Labour
same
Party
thing.
does.
You're doing the same thing.
No, I
You got a
don't.
token. You got a
How am I
token.
doing
You got some
the
Muslim
same
guy.
thing?
You got some
Who cares
Muslim
about
reform
your
leader.
skin? Who
Oh
cares
my
about
God, there's a Muslim reform leader. Oh my God, he can't be racist. Are we stupid? This is exactly how the system worked before as well. They use an individual, they use a puppet, and they use it like, oh, this guy, he's one of you guys.
they're used
He's
as
one
a
of you guys.
puppet.
Okay, for example,
So the chairman of Reform is a puppet.
For example, in
Are you
British India,
serious?
if for example, yeah, absolutely. If a person is a Muslim,
You
and he
didn't
supports
even
reform-
know him before I
One
told
second,
you
wait, one
about
second,
it.
one second.
But now
one
he
second.
knows he's
No,
a
no, you're
puppet.
playing around.
You're
You're
not.
playing
No,
around.
you're not.
You're playing around.
You're being
You're
a
playing
fool.
around.
You're
And it-
being.
No,
I
it
hate
can
to say
clearly
this,
see-
but you are being a fool.
You're being a fool, to be
Because
honest
there's
with you.
a man that
You're
I
using
told
statistics.
you about, who
I don't
you
care
didn't
about
even
that.
know
I don't care about that, to be honest
And now
with
you know all about him.
Yeah.
But you didn't even know
No,
about
but
him 10 minutes
the thing
ago.
is, it's a ridiculous argument.
Not the strongest of arguments,
No.
is it? Ladies and gentlemen watching at home, not the strongest of arguments.
Yeah, you're just playing games, to be honest with you. Strongest of arguments, but this guy's saying, oh, we got a Muslim guy, so therefore, oh, if he really hates
You
Muslim
come-
guys, why are they going to make him as him?
You come with a very
it's a clear
biased view.
coconut
You
strategy,
come with- oh,
even in British India,
coconut
even in British...
strategy.
Okay,
That's a nice phrase.
let me
isn't
define
it?
that.
Coconut.
You should define that.
That's a lovely
You want me to define
phrase,
that? No
coconut.
problem, no problem. Of course,
Okay,
someone got arrested for that,
define
didn't
it
they?
for
Did
us.
someone get arrested for that, by the way? Did
Define
someone get
the
arrested for
story.
that, by the way? Did someone get arrested for that, by the
Say
way?
it another
So,
10
okay,
times.
no problem.
Just repeat yourself.
Answer your question then.
Like a parrot.
Answer my question then. Again,
parrot
so let
or
me
you're a
finish it.
man?
Let me
Are
explain
you a
my
parrot or a
statement. Let me explain my statement. For example, many times we can see even
So
in the
explain that vile
British
racist
Empire.
term that
No,
you
for
just
example,
used.
even in British
Explain
India.
that vile
Let me explain
racist
it.
term
Let me
that you just
finish.
used.
Let me finish.
The bigotry
Let me
of
finish.
low expectations.
It's only
If
racist.
you're
Let me
brown,
define the
you
word.
should follow a
Let me
certain
define the
political
terminology.
argument.
Let me define the
What
terminology.
an arrogant.
Let me define the terminology. I'm not scared to say whatever I want to.
Like, just like
He's
Rupert
scared.
Hutt.
He's not letting me finish.
Just like Rupert
He's not letting me
Hutt,
finish.
The Labour
He's not letting me
MP for
finish.
Central Ealing and Acton.
He's not letting me
who said
finish.
Kwasi
Why are you ranting?
Kwarteng wasn't a real black person.
Okay, can I respond?
Because he was a conservative.
Can I respond? Again, when it comes to statement of
The
expressions,
vile,
Steve,
racist
are you
obsession.
gonna,
Dawn Butler.
Steve?
There's
Are you gonna
so many
are you gonna just look at the camera and start
examples in the
shouting and
Labour
screaming?
Party, people.
Listen, you're talking
Vile
to me.
racist.
He's looking at the
Bigotry
camera.
of I'm looking at over there.
Why are you not able to direct me?
The striped
Are you not able to
scarf.
direct another conversation?
Very nice scarf.
Steve, to be fair,
Definitely.
you're ranting on the camera, and what I said to you when it comes to even that terminology is the individual, what they would
You've
do.
used it,
Can I
not me.
respond, Steve?
You've used it,
Can I
not me.
respond?
I would never
You're speaking
use
too
such
much.
a vile
I will
racist
use. I'm a man of my word. I will say what I want to say, but I need to give the
How does that make you a
explanation.
man of your word?
I need to be explain.
As opposed to an
I need to
idiot?
give my explanation. Again, you're diverting so many times. What I'm saying to you is that an individual, many times, even in the British Empire, they would put an individual, as for example, they put an Indian individual as a generalship and put a governorship in that region, and they will say that's one of your people. He's one of your tribes, and that's the exact same thing that you're doing. That's the exact same thing that you're doing. You're saying that because he's a Muslim and because he's the head, therefore, because you're mentioning that point. You're mentioning. Wait, can I finish? Can I finish? You can't have a conversation like this. You have to let me finish.
People have memories of
You have to let me
goldfish.
finish. You have to let me finish.
Really?
Clearly,
You
we
say
can see.
something and then like seconds
Clearly,
later you're
clearly,
saying, I didn't say
clearly.
that, I didn't use that word.
You have to let me finish. And to be fair, clearly we can see when it comes to the Reform Party, you guys have no foundations. Clearly, you have a.
And you haven't got
most
one
of the time,
shot of evidence
illegal
to
immigrants,
support that.
illegal immigrants.
got
This
one
situation,
shot in the
this
last 10
situation.
minutes. You
haven't
There's
got
more
one
situations
shot
in
of
London that you're not
evidence.
talking about. There's many situations, even when it comes to when it comes to.
I told you around
you
the
don't. You don't
country.
mention these things.
The results of the
Go on
general
the
election.
Twitter page right now.
Only a few months ago.
You're not able to have a
Around the-
conversation.
around
You're just
the
ranting.
rest of the
You're just ranting.
country.
To be fair, I don't even know why I engage with the conversation
don't
with you.
know
To be fair
either.
with you,
Maybe you like
I don't
the
know.
cameras and the
The mics
microphone.
came to me, as you clearly can see.
I know,
I
but you
never
didn't
want to
say
have a
no,
conversation
you
with
didn't
you.
have to explain
I always had the impression that it was Tommy Robinson, so I was going to have a conversation about that. But rather than
And now
no,
I've
we
taken
spoke
the
about-
rug from under
That's
your
fine.
feet by telling you that I wasn't.
No, but that's fine.
That
but
doesn't
still,
stop you
You're going
coming
to
out
another
with a
extreme.
diatribe of
You're going to
nonsense.
another extreme,
Hasn't
and we can
stopped-
clearly
hasn't
see
stopped
many
you-
people in the Reform. They have a hatred towards people that are ethnic minorities. It's very clear.
And you
it's
haven't
very
got one
clear. It's
shred of
very clear,
evidence to
and we can see
show
many
that.
examples, and we can
You
see
haven't
many
got one shred
many
of
places where
evidence to
individuals
show that.
have discriminated towards ethnic minorities. So clearly, you're not able to have a conversation. So I'm going to end the conversation right here. Penny.
Bye-bye.
Oh, bro, you change like the weather, my friend. You change like the weather. You change like the weather, bro. You change like the weather.
See me in 5
You
years.
change like the weather. You change like the weather. And I'm
People
curious.
change over 5
That's fine.
years.
I want to
Are you that
clarify.
dark?
Are you Muslim still?
Why do you care?
Because you changed, right?
Flying spaghetti
You changed, right?
monster. Why do you
Ah,
care?
there we go. Khalas.
It's your camera.
When you're in that
Your
spectrum,
camera.
You're getting very angry.
when
It's
you're in
very
that spectrum,
funny, isn't it?
when you're in that spectrum, that's what happens.
Sorry, what?
When you're in that spectrum that you was following before, that's what happens.
But you're
No
the
one can
angry
change.
one, not me.
No one can
Just to
change.
let you know, by the
You're
way.
getting very angry, very quick.
But you're
It's quite funny.
interrupting in the corner like a joker, bro. That's why.
Yes, because you're a joke. It's funny.
I know he's anti-Islam. I'm surprised he was Daesh. I know. It's khalas. Anyways, goodbye.
He doesn't want to understand it. He wants to.